Hey guys, it's Chaplain Bo here, and you're probably wondering why I have my guitar, but I'm going to do my little chapel time with you guys with my guitar and kind of give a little demonstration, a little lesson. So, the passage that we're going to go through today is one that is really famous. It's in the book of Psalms, and it's Psalm 51. It's a psalm of a king of Israel, one of the most popular kings of Israel, named King David. You might remember King David from David and Goliath fame. And David was kind of the runt of the litter of his family, and through some mighty works of God, he was raised all the way up to the place of the king of Israel. But it wasn't an easy road for him, and like most of us, we go through a lot of ups and downs and on our way to any kind of success in life. And he certainly had his bumps and bruises. But one of those bumps and bruises came through the act of kind of a laziness on his part, where he should have been at war, but instead he was just hanging out in his house, and he ended up having this lustful desire for this woman who was his neighbor, and actually one of his mighty men, one of his mighty men of valor, as they're called, one of his strong military friends, his wife was there, and he ended up sleeping with her, and she got pregnant, and he ended up freaking out a bit, and just a little bit, to the point where he ended up trying to cover it up by arranging the killing of his friend, who was the mighty man of valor, so that he could basically cover up his sin. And so this psalm says, "Have mercy on me, O God." And you could see his heart, right? Just totally wrenched with what he did. "Have mercy on me, O God, according to your loving kindness. According to the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgression. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin." Now, I want you to see some words in this passage. The word sin is used, the words transgression is used, and the word iniquity is used. And these words all talk about kind of a little bit of a different thing. And so I'm going to break it down to you. Out of these three terms, one of them, sin, just means to miss the mark. It's like when you shoot a shot and the puck misses the net. That's sin. You miss the mark of what was intended. And what's intended is God's holiness, God's law is intended to live according to it. And so when you miss it, you sin. Does that make sense? Transgression, that just means you can't go past where it says don't trespass. You know, we're all little kids, right? And there's a little fence that says don't trespass. And what do? We jump over the fence and we go over there. Well, it says don't transgress. Well, David says, I've transgressed. I've broken the law. The law said don't do this, and I went over it. I went around it, right? We all have done that before too. And then the other one is iniquity. And iniquity means to bend. Okay, it means, so think of your stick. When your stick is straight, it has no iniquity. But when you bend it, now it has iniquity. But now think of ethics like that, morality like that. What if your ethics are bent? So instead of holding to the straight and narrow, you now bend a little bit. So you think of a guitar, and a guitar has two channels. You can an amplifier makes this happen to an electric guitar, where you can have a clean channel. Think of clean as right, the clean channel. And then there's a distorted channel. And this is what David's talking about, is that his life has become kind of sounding like this. Right? So it sounds really distorted. And that's what this guitar sounds like. It's got this distortion sound. Think of that as iniquity. It's the bending, right? The guitar has a natural sound, the clean channel, right? That is supposed to be, that is the clean way. But then all of a sudden it picks up, and it goes this this, you can flip some switches and it has a distorted sound. So let me put it on the clean channel for you. And you guys know what that sounds like. That sounds like this. So you guys are familiar with that clean sound, right? You know, it's just a real basic sound, but it's clean. But then what happens in our life is sometimes we start making decisions, right? And then all of a sudden we become what? We get into this again. Right? And then we start sounding more like that. So we start getting into the distorted sound and everything starts getting right. And then when it gets like that, when it gets all crazy sounding like that, what we need to do is we have to come to God and we have to say, hey, God, have mercy on me. Lord, cleanse me of the distortion that's in my life, all the noise, all the bending, right? All the transgressing, right? All the missing of the mark. And that's what Jesus came to do. He came to make us clean, which is beautiful, by his blood. Through his blood, he sees us, the Father sees us as clean, no matter how distorted we might sound. Through the blood of Christ, we've been washed and made clean. So now we sound clean, which is beautiful, right? Now we sound like clean. When you play clean, you can hear everything. You can hear every note. Right? Because it's clean. So that's a great lesson, I hope, for you as it is for me, is that sometimes in our life, just like King David, our life can get real distorted quick. But it's beautiful to know that through the blood of Christ and what he's done for us, that, you know what, we've been made clean. And that's a beautiful thing, a truth that we hold on to with everything. But practically in your life too, if you find yourself moving to the right or to the left, that bending, that moving over, that transgressing, that sinning, which we all find those things in our lives, go to God and just bring that to our Christ, our Lord. And he is so faithful to forgive and to have mercy and to pour his love on you. So you guys have a great time, okay? Bye-bye.